Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? How's the new year going so far for you? Let me know. Today is Tuesday. Actually, today's Wednesday. I've messed up my whole workout schedule already. It's fine. I was in San Diego. My whole workout schedule was messed up anyway. I'll just get back on my normal schedule next week. Today is upper body day. I'm about to head off to the gym, getting a little lifting and getting a little animal flow, like a mixed movement kind of workout thing going on. I'm really excited about it. I think you guys are gonna like this workout too. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be a fun one. Before I head off to the gym, I'm actually gonna make myself a little pre-workout latte. I have missed this ritual so much. Like, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that, wow, was it like 2 years ago now? It was like 2 years ago when I was like hitting the gym hard and regularly. I was making my pre-workout lattes or post-workout lattes like almost every single day that I would work out, and I loved it. It was just a nice little routine, and I'm not necessarily trying to get back into it, but just felt like doing it today. So I'm gonna go make one of those. I'll show you guys what's in it because this is also gonna be a what I eat in a day. And then later on, like after I get through my workout and breakfast and have time to like sit down and chat, I wanna talk through how big your calorie deficit should be if you are trying to lose fat. Your calorie deficit really is kind of a Goldilocks situation. You don't want it too big, you don't want it too small. If it's the wrong size, it can lead to unnecessary muscle loss. It can lead to binging. It can lead to super slow fat loss that makes it take way too long for you to lose the fat and puts a little bit too much stress on your body because of that. It can lead to a much faster weight loss plateau, which will lead to your metabolism slowing down a lot faster. Like, there's a lot of not so good things about having a deficit that's the wrong size on either end of the spectrum. So we're gonna sit down and chat about that, but gotta get everything else done first that I need to get done. So let's go make my little pre-workout latte. And by latte, I mean there's not gonna be coffee in it, I don't think. I don't feel like I need coffee today. I just wanna get a little something. Honestly, just laying out all the ingredients like this again is getting me so excited. So I'm making it a hot chocolate, so obviously I'm gonna use some cacao powder. Wanna add just a smidge of protein to like have some protein before my workout, so I'm using the Four Sigmatic chocolate protein to enhance the chocolate. Gonna throw in a little bit of lion's mane because this is one of my absolute favorite like pre-workout things. It really helps me stay a lot more focused during my workout. And then adding a smidge of creatine, which I haven't taken in forever, just because it's a thing that I used to put in my lattes. For sweetener, I have this little tiny bit of maple syrup left, so I'm gonna throw that in. And then maybe some coconut nectar. If it's not sweet enough, I'll add a little bit of honey, just some milk, classic vanilla almond milk, my go-to for the milky part. And then I'm boiling some water in the kitchen over there. So I'm just gonna combine all this, make some magic. I have missed my pre-workout lattes. Maybe I'll start doing this regularly again. I don't usually throw protein powder in it. I was worried it was gonna make it like kind of chalky. I think I didn't put a full scoop in it, so that's probably why it's fine, but like, it is more than fine. It is delicious. And as far as protein powder goes, this is the one that I've been using pretty much exclusively, definitely exclusively, other than like collagen. This is the only protein powder that I've used in months. I don't use a lot of protein powder, admittedly, but when I do, I like to make sure it's, you know, the highest quality possible. A lot of the times with a lot of supplements that you get, they have a lot of other stuff in them, lower quality ingredients. They're a lot lower quality than just eating whole food. And this is not, you know, the same quality as eating a steak or a chicken breast. I'm not about to blend a steak or a chicken breast into my pre-workout latte. The Four Sigmatic protein is fantastic. Highly, highly recommend. I have never seen a cleaner protein powder. If I were to personally mix my own protein powder like exactly the way that I want it with the ingredients that I want in my protein powder and in my body, this would literally be it. Like, I have really high freaking standards. This meets it. So other than the blend of protein powders that come from pea, hemp, chia, pumpkin, and coconut, and then a bunch of amazing adaptogens that are also added in here, here are the other ingredients. Check any other protein powder that you can find and then compare it to this list of ingredients. It's just cacao powder because it's the chocolate protein, coconut milk powder, coconut palm sugar for sweetness, some Himalayan pink salt, and some monk fruit for sweetness. That is it. There are no gums, no fillers, no lecithins, no additives, no artificial flavors, no natural flavors. The only flavoring in here is literally just straight up cacao powder, not chocolate flavor. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, it tastes freaking phenomenal for a vegan protein powder. I will say no vegan protein powder is ever gonna match the taste of a non-vegan protein powder. Like, it's just not physically possible. But I have tried a lot of vegan protein powders. In fact, I did a full vegan protein powder taste test a couple years ago. Link that down in the description if you want to check it out. This was not in existence at that time, but this would definitely be ranked in like the top 2, 3, definitely top 3. Probably top 2. Don't really remember. It's been a couple years since I did the whole taste test. If you're looking for a protein powder, basically, I highly recommend checking out the Four Sigmatic one. And as always, if you do want to check out Four Sigmatic, you can use my discount code FitAndNerdy to get yourself 15% off your order. I will link this down in the description box below. Check it out. Get yourself some top quality protein for when you need a little boost, if you're traveling, if you just want to chug protein powder because you're into that, whatever it may be. Check it out. So I'm gonna sip on this, finish this bad boy, get my protein, my creatine, my lion's mane, what else did I put in here? A lot of things. And then I'm gonna head off to the gym and we're gonna do a little upper body workout. Get excited. I will leave the workout written out in the description below if you want to screenshot it and take it to the gym with you. Cheers.
We held, we lost, we seek, but all we have is now. To breathe new life into the love we live without. We turn into something more than skin and bone. Yeah, it's a feeling that we can't forget. Go on, shake it up and take me home, and we'll be glorious. Oh, take my heart again, and we'll be glorious. Oh, take my heart again, and we'll be glorious. Oh. If we dare to fall, we may find everything we need. The silver lining shows wherever's brave.
That was a great workout, but I need to stop leaving my handstand practice for when I'm like already really tired from all the other upper body stuff that I've been doing. Like, I felt solid, but my body is tired and not able to stabilize efficiently and effectively right now, but that's okay. All I care about is the fact that I'm hungry. I want breakfast. It's breakfast time and I am so excited to dig in. I'm not sure how this is gonna taste, to be honest. I was going for like a vaguely sweet and savory vibe, so I threw some cinnamon and salt on the sweet potato. Also threw some cinnamon and salt in the eggs. I may have ruined my eggs. I don't know. I've never put cinnamon in my eggs before. Also, we are out of forks, so I'm gonna be eating this with a spoon and a knife. So here we are. I don't taste the cinnamon at all. It still tastes good. Oh wait, no, I just got a hint of cinnamon at the end. Uh-huh. Oh, my hair. Long hair problems. I don't know how I'm gonna eat the salad with a spoon, but we'll figure it out. I cooked it perfectly. I'm so proud of myself. So my Oura ring that I usually wear, which you may or may not have noticed that I haven't been wearing for a while, the battery got all wonky. Like, it was dying in like 16 hours, so it couldn't like go a full day tracking my data. So I sent Oura Ring a message. Turns out it was under warranty, so they just sent me a new ring. So I'm really excited to have this thing on my finger again. So I just set it up, I think I set it up properly, but it's been really interesting using the Oura Ring to track my cycle, or like combining the data with cycle tracking. So I'm really excited to have this back on my finger again. All right, the weather's nice, so I've come outside for a little chit chat about calorie deficit size. By the weather's nice, I just mean it's not freezing today. That's nice. I live in Southern California, I really can't complain. But anyway, I'm snacking on a carton of raspberries while I chat with you. So the first important point that I want to make about your calorie deficit is that it needs to be relative to you and your body. It needs to not just be a random arbitrary number that you pull out of somewhere. A lot of people generally say aim for a 500 calorie deficit, but that number has no relevance to you and your body. And yes, theoretically, if everything works perfectly according to the calculations and the science, you will lose 1 pound a week. That's not really how the body usually responds. Like, our bodies are not closed off laboratories that respond in a very specific way that it's supposed to respond. Like, there's so many little variables that go in there. Our bodies are not equations. Your deficit should be relative, not an absolute number. And by relative, I mean relative to your current intake. This means you need to know your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, or your maintenance calories. All of this is the number of calories that you need to eat to maintain weight. That is what your deficit should be based on. I have a whole video about how to accurately determine your TDEE, because a lot of calculators are going to be really far off, and if you do it based on a calculator that's really far off, everything is going to be even more off. So I'll leave a link to that down in the description box below. Definitely recommend you check it out if you don't know where your starting TDEE is. And as a little note, if you figure out your TDEE and realize it's pretty darn low, and if you go into any amount of a deficit, it's going to be even lower and dangerously low, I recommend looking into reverse dieting before you even approach fat loss. I have a whole series on how to reverse diet. It's what I take most of my clients through. Reverse dieting is literally magical. So once you know your TDEE and also know your TDEE is at like a healthy level so that you can safely go into a deficit, you're ready to establish your deficit. What I recommend is taking a certain percentage of your TDEE. In general, most people are going to get the most effective cut from a 15 to 20% deficit from their TDEE. So if your TDEE is 2,000 calories and you're taking a 20% deficit, that is a 400 calorie deficit. So you would need to eat about 1,600 calories. A 15% deficit from that is about 300 calories. So anywhere between like 1,600 and 1,700 calories would be a good amount to eat at for you to be in an effective and efficient calorie deficit that isn't going to be too big and isn't going to be too small. A lot of people know and have experienced what happens when your calorie deficit is too big. One of the first things is that your body is not physically able to get the amount of micronutrients that it needs to complete basic functions. And so this causes all kinds of different issues, but mainly it makes it really hard to stay in a deficit because your body is going to be driving you to just eat everything it can because it's trying desperately to get those nutrients. So you're making things a lot harder on yourself when you eat in too much of a deficit. Not eating enough can also easily lead to muscle loss. And if you are trying to look more toned, more defined, you want to keep as much of that muscle on your body as you can. If you lose muscle during your weight loss process, you may end up at the same body fat percentage, just smaller, or you could end up at a higher body fat percentage. You don't want to put in all of that effort to lose weight and end up at a higher body fat percentage. Too big of a deficit can also easily more lead to binging behaviors or just developing a disordered relationship with food because you're forcing your body to restrict in a very unnatural way. But on the flip side, your deficit being too small can also cause a lot of issues. The first thing is that your body adapts to any calorie deficit. And the smaller the deficit, the faster your body's going to be able to adapt to it. So basically, the faster your metabolism is going to slow down. If you're in like 100, 150 calorie deficit, that's something your body can easily compensate for without actually losing too much fat in the process. A slight down regulation of how much you fidget throughout the day and a slight down regulation of your exercise intensity is going to easily compensate for that. And so you're just going to be eating less and not really accomplishing anything. So you're just basically depriving your body of nutrients that it could otherwise be using. And then because your body adapts so fast, you're going to very quickly plateau and have to keep dropping your calories, and you're going to keep adapting, and then you're going to be eating next to nothing and be plateaued there. Then you're going to have to reverse diet, and that takes forever. The other thing is that being in a calorie deficit puts a certain amount of stress on the body. And if you're in a very small calorie deficit, it's going to make losing fat take a lot longer, which means you're spending a lot more time putting that stress on your body. You want a deficit where you can get in and get effective results and get out as quickly as possible, rather than having to constantly stay in a deficit and constantly be putting that pressure on your body. And that actually leads me on to another point that I wanted to make, which is once you have the appropriate size deficit, make sure you're implementing mini cut cycles rather than trying to stay in a deficit long term. I have a whole video about how to use mini cut cycles to make your fat loss more efficient and effective. Basically, it's a way to prevent plateauing so that your metabolism doesn't continue to slow down as you continue to cut and lose fat. Where for every 2 to 3 weeks you spend in a deficit, you spend 1 to 2 weeks at maintenance and cycle back and forth. And there's science to support using this method to do more long-term sustainable fat loss, where you're a lot less likely to regain the fat after you lose it. The reason I wanted to address this is because I've seen a lot of people lately saying that they're in a calorie deficit but being cautious about it, and so they're only in like a 100 to 150 calorie deficit. But well, yes, I recommend being relatively cautious with weight loss, where like don't crash diet, don't go into a hardcore deficit. That is bad. Being too cautious is also going to kind of mess you up in the long run. It's just not going to be as efficient, not going to be as effective, and can cause, I don't want to say more harm than good, but like it's just not great. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this down in the comments below. And there are some kind of more complex and complicated ways to determine an even better deficit, but I was looking into all of those and none of them felt actually more effective, just like they required more steps to kind of get to the same point. Since I still want to get in my evening movement just to like break up my day with more movement, and I do want to do more yoga, just because when I was doing yoga like consistently kind of as my only workout, I felt really good. Like my mobility improved a lot. I got a lot of benefit from it, and so I want to keep up with it, and so replacing my walks is like the easiest way to do that. So I'm gonna do some yoga right now. As always, I'm doing a Yoga with Tim video. If you watch his channel, he does like a 30-day challenge at least every year, maybe twice a year or so. I'm doing his New Year's 2021 challenge. I did day 1 yesterday. I'm doing day 2 today. Not necessarily doing every single day for like 30 days or whatever, but I'm just following it in the order whenever I do the yoga. I'm a little sleepy, so I'm not sure I'm gonna make it through the whole thing, to be honest. It's a 40-minute video. I don't think I need to do 40 minutes of yoga. If I get through it, great, but I might just stop halfway through. I don't know. Also, check out this cool new yoga mat that I got. It's round. Got it for Christmas. Super helpful for like the animal flowy stuff.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new, baby. But you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
All right, I did half an hour. I'm done. I'm hungry. It's time to make dinner. I am so excited for this dinner. Look at how colorful it is. It's so colorful. And it's full of pesto, which is just like my favorite thing. My pro tips for making veggies taste good are pesto and nutritional yeast. Like, use one of the two and you will be golden, and you will love your veggies and eat your veggies.
And grow up and be a very strong, healthy person.
I used about 2/3 of the veggies that I cooked and about 1/3 of the meat, because it was a pound of meat. I was originally gonna add zucchini noodles to the veggies and make it 2 servings of veggies, but then I was like, about to do that, and I was like, they look so good as is. I don't know if I want to add anything else. So I ended up with like not quite 2 servings. So probably, ooh, I'm gonna throw the leftovers into like an egg scramble tomorrow. That will be amazing. Also, I did want to say that because I'm doing my yoga at night now instead of walking, Not gonna be hitting my 10,000 steps. I just got my Oura ring back, so I have no idea what my step count has been at. But it's unlikely that I'm hitting 10,000 steps a day. And that's totally okay, because my only goal with 10,000 steps is to get an extra hour of movement in throughout the day. And it takes me about an hour to walk 10,000 steps, which is why I set 10,000 steps as my goal. So replacing that walking with yoga, there's gonna be some different benefits. I am leaning towards the benefits from yoga because I really want better mobility and flexibility and all that good stuff. And for where I am right now, like, that's just my priority. Just wanted to throw that out there because I talk about walking a lot. I talk about 10,000 steps a lot. You guys know you're part of my step squad. I'm hitting that 10K. It's a thing that I like to do, that people like to do, but it's not a thing that I'm going to be prioritizing right now because I'm just replacing that movement with other movement. I'm still aiming for my hour of total activity outside the gym. It's just a different form of activity. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat this, hang out with my roommates. I'll catch up with you when I have dessert. All right, for dessert, I'm having a cup of Tulsi sleep tea, which is currently very, very hot, so I will not actually be drinking this stuff for quite a few minutes. Instead, I'm going to be eating probably about half of this chocolate bar. And that will be it for the night. I'm gonna start my little nighttime, bedtime routine now. Shut these lights off, flip my candles on with my salt lamp, put on some chill music, do some reading, take a shower in there somewhere, take my bedtime supplements, all that good stuff. That is to say, I'm going to bed, so I'm gonna leave you guys here. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up because it really does support me on my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Please share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos from me, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, because YouTube doesn't like to tell you when you subscribe to someone and they post a video. And I will see you very soon. Bye!